Hi everyone, I'm Sean, and today we're going to explore the Space plugin, which is a reverb plugin, and it's free with any Pro Tools subscription. You just go to Avid's website and you can download it directly. It's a really cool plugin compared to other reverb plugins because you can almost create your own room out of it, compared to being restricted with various rooms and their settings with a typical reverb plugin. So let's just open it up. As you can see, this is our first room. This is a church. Let's just take a listen to what this sounds like. And we're going to be using it on a vocal track. So we're just going to highlight that. And let's take a listen to it without any reverb first. So nice clean audio.
Left me here, bar stool hugging, in my smoky bourbon haze.
So that's just clean with no space reverb. And this is with it. I haven't touched anything yet. We're going to explore a little more afterwards. So let's take a listen.
Left me here, bar stool hugging, in my smoky bourbon haze.
So obviously it's a lot, but that's just because we haven't edited anything yet. And let's just take a brief tour before we do so. So to start things off, this is our meters, our in and our out. And then if we switch here, we can see our waveform, original, if you click it. But right now we're bypassing it. So if we don't bypass it, this is the original, this is that. So nothing yet, but we'll take a look once we edit it more. This is our snapshot of our room. Just various pictures of what we're looking at. Just more snapshots. Nothing too exciting, but it makes it a little more immersive to it. This is your wet, dry, and decay. A little different than most reverbs where you can just slide it side to side between wet and dry. This you actually have to bring it in, so we'll take a look right now. Let me just select the audio. And let's take a listen. So obviously this is very wet, no dry. And I'll keep it right here. So as I bring in the dry, so it sounds very clean and dry like it was before we did the plugin. Now we'll bring in the wet and we'll kind of make a little mix of both. So a little dry, a little wet. And let's take a listen.
Left me here, bar stool hugging, in my smoky bourbon haze.
So nice little comparison. Little evenness between the wet and the dry. I think it's a little too wet, so we'll give it another go. We'll just keep it right here. Perfect. I'll just do it while we're recording.
Left me here, bar stool hugging, in my smoky bourbon haze. Got to ease my way back home.
So I like that right there. That's a nice little mix between wet and dry. Almost a 50-50 split. Nice soft reverb, not too excessive, not a long release of it, but it's still present. And you can definitely hear that there is a presence of reverb. But beyond that, let's explore some funky stuff within this. So let's change our room. Let's look at tiny spaces, a vacuum cleaner tool. Because who doesn't love vacuum tube reverb, apparently? And let's take a listen to that. Let's see if we do like this or not.
Left me here, bar stool hugging, in my smoky bourbon haze.
So obviously very different than the church reverb. But that's the cool part about space, is you can just create these spaces and you can go from a church to a vacuum cleaner to a plate to a chamber to a hall. It gives you the option to explore these new things and get a little funky and unconventional. So let's just play around with this this vacuum tube. I mean, it's in it for a reason, so let's use it. Let's make it doable.
Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze.
So for a vacuum cleaner tube, I think that's pretty reasonable. It's a pretty reasonable reverb for that. We can explore one more. Let's look at some springs. Let's do spring type 1 vintage spring. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. Now these are the same settings that we've been using for the vacuum cleaner in the church. It doesn't change that, it just changes the room that you're in. So you can tell, I'll jump between a few rooms without touching any of the functionality. I'll make it a little wet so it's a little more noticeable. And we'll hear the difference between these different rooms. But right now this is a vintage spring, and we'll take a listen to this.
Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze. Left me here, bar still hugging in my smoky bourbon haze.
So that was just an exploration of a few different spaces we can dive into, hence the name space. And I didn't change any of the wet, dry, or decay. I didn't touch anything. So that just shows you how different these spaces can be. And that's between a church, a chamber, a plate, a spring, a cosmic effect. Not quite sure what that is, but that was a little funky. But yeah, that's just a little introduction into space. I think I'll make another video where we dive deeper and explore the levels, delays, early reverb, and decay of it, and really create our own space, because this plugin is so useful, especially since it's free. It gives you professional quality reverb and the ability to create any space you'd like for your reverb. I mean, what's not to love about it? But besides that, thanks for joining. This was the Space Reverb plugin. It's available through Avid's website. If you have a Pro Tools subscription, it's free, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's definitely worth the download. And I'll see you guys in the next video.